the skies in Tampa today are a little hit or miss with some cloudy conditions on tap. But as far as the Yankees go, they hope for all hit, no miss as they prepare for a Monday matinee. Aaron Judge, Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, all MVPs and all in the heart of the order this afternoon. Plus, one young player whose star is on the rise, George Lombard Jr., penciled in at shortstop today, batting seventh. As we welcome you to Yankees Spring Training presented by Montefiore Einstein. It's the Yankees against the visiting Detroit Tigers from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Now, while lots of eyes will be on the action on the field today, the injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein indicates some eyes will be and have been on Garrett Cole with his right elbow undergoing intensive examination. Had an MRI on Friday. Saturday said, I'm concerned. And then GM Brian Cashman Sunday saying, I'm prepared for the worst. So we will discuss that. And a pitcher taking the mound today who could have a huge impact on their 2025 fortunes, Will Warren. Jack Curry and Meredith Morakovitz join me for First Pitch next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
So with Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more?
Yeah, home, car, motorcycle, all bundled together. Just like that breakfast burrito.
So can I get chorizo?
Metaphorically, yeah.
Carnita.
Just chicken. Just give me a bunch of chicken.
Oh, bacon?
Oh, wait, there isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce. Can I get chips?
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Sure.
Okay.
For bundling made easy, get more with Geico.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the gang, knock it out the park, knock it out. You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the gang. The catch and throw, not in time.
Why are we walking so slow?
Getaway sales event. Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. By 917 Lawyers, powered by Whites and Luxembourg. By Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes. By the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Help America's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. And by Sandals, made of Caribbean. It's great to have you with us this afternoon. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Meredith Morakovitz with you. The Tigers and Yankees coming into this one. Similar records, identical in fact, 7-7-1. And yes, as we know, in spring training, ties are allowed. So, again, both of these teams, 7-7-1. They've met once so far at George M. Steinbrenner Field. That was back on February 23rd, and the Tigers won that game 4-0. As we're getting ready to see the Yankees take the field here in the top half of the first inning on a Monday matinee, let's check today's starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. It is brought to you by Sandals, made of Caribbean, and it will be a familiar face in the leadoff spot, Gleyber Torres. Former Yankee playing second and leading off. Kerry Carpenter's in right. Riley Green is in left. So far this spring, a .412 average, a homer and 4 runs batted in, and 17 at bats. Spencer Torkelson is the DH. Colt Keith is at first base. Trey Sweeney is at short. Dylan Dingler will do the catching. Jace Young will be at second base, and Ryan Kreidler is out in center field. Well, they're going to face Will Warren this afternoon, Jack. He has looked good so far, coming off an outing in which Carlos Carrasco looked very good yesterday. And, of course, as we know right now, starting pitching is a hot topic of conversation and examination for the Yankees.
Right, opportunities abound right now in that Yankees rotation. We know that Heel is dealing with a shoulder injury, and Brian Cashman said you'll probably see him during the summer. And then, of course, Garrett Cole dealing with that elbow injury and the probability that he is going to need Tommy John surgery. The Yankees haven't announced anything yet, but based on what Cashman and Cole have said and what our own reporting has yielded, that is something that seems as if it is looming.
We usually get a chance to talk to Aaron Boone in the fourth inning, so stick around for that. Get the latest insights into that, what he thinks about his starting rotation. Will Warren, as you mentioned, Jack, this spring has looked good. 2 starts. This will be his third. He has allowed just a couple runs, a home run, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts, really refining that 4-pitch mix. So let's check out the Hyundai Pitcher Scouting Report on Warren.
Yeah, 25-year-old pitcher for Yankee fans to get excited about. Bob, take 5 is about taking the 5th spot in the rotation. We've talked about it. There is a spot for Will Warren to go north with this team, to be in the back end of that rotation. Career opportunities. He made the major leagues last season. Got a rough introduction to the majors with an earned run average of over 10. He wants to show that he's a lot better than that. And Spin Doctor refers to his ability to spin pitches, Bob. He has an elite sweeper. He's working on a curveball. You mentioned that mix of pitches. It's an impressive mix. His strikeout to walk ratio at the minor league level last year was terrific. 136 strikeouts and 39 walks and 109 2/3. He wants to translate that to the major league level.
And you hear a nice ovation there for Gleyber Torres. Of course, spent the first 7 years of his major league career with the Yankees, but in the offseason, signed a 1-year free agent deal with the Tigers to play second base. Well, Gleyber leading off against Will Warren. Here we go. And Warren just missing outside 1-0. So Gleyber at one point was hoping for a reunion with the Yankees. Jack, that's not the way that it shook out for him this offseason.
Right, you look at his entire major league career was spent with the Yankees. I know from talking to him last spring, he was hopeful that that relationship would continue. It did not. When he became a free agent this offseason, the Yankees were ready to move in another direction. He signs that 1-year deal with the Tigers and is hoping he can have a solid year this year and blossom that into something bigger. I think offensively, he really acquitted himself in the second half last season. Some deficiencies on the defensive side and the base running side that always left you a little perplexed about Gleyber's game. But I do remember in 23, Bob, when Judge was down, the most productive offensive player the Yankees had was Gleyber Torres.
2-2 pitch. Warren, so far we've seen it. Nice sinker moving inside, and then a little sweeper there moving away. So you talked about that spin. He's already shown a lot of it.
Yeah, and David Cohn would talk about playing X games, where you want to have the ability to throw pitches to both sides of the plate. That's what Warren has. That's what he's developing.
2-2 pitch again. And a fastball to short. It is George Lombard Jr. on to first, 1 away. Let's take a look at the defense behind Will Warren today. Around the outfield, it's Cody Bellinger in left today, Trent Grisham in center, and Aaron Judge in right. Around the infield, Andrew Velasquez, George Lombard, Yorbit Vivas, and Paul Goldschmidt at first, with Austin Wells doing the catching. And leading off once again this afternoon. We'll talk about that when they come up in the bottom of the first. Here's Kerry Carpenter, 18 homers in 84 games last year for the Tigers, as he looks at strike one.
So, Bob, you can cherry pick some numbers and some small sample sizes, but I did find this interesting last year. We saw Warren right there retire Torres on his four-seam fastball, go right ahead and challenge him. At the major league level last year, batters were 2 for 27 with 11 strikeouts and at bats that ended in the fastball against Warren. So he had a lot of confidence in that pitch, and we've talked about the importance of the pitches that have a lot of spin that he needs to bring along as well.
It's the refinement of the pitches, but it's also the refinement of the mindset for a young guy, too. There's been those sort of equations with Michael King, how he finally got to that one spring camp where he took that big next step, and it feels like Warren is on the precipice of that.
Yeah, the comps with Michael King are terrific. Do yourself a favor, go on social media. There are many of them side by side where you just look at the two of them and the way they deliver the ball to the plate. Yankees would love if Will Warren could be some version of what Michael King was for them, and then of course what he was for the Padres last year. Terrific season. He of course went to San Diego in the Juan Soto trade.
2-2 pitch. And swatted out to left for a one-out base hit as Bellinger fields it. Let's get to our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealer.
Yeah, Bob, we're starting off with Will I Am, which could mean Will I Am the fifth starter. I should have said ... I am the fifth starter. Austin Powers, that refers to Austin Wells powering things from the top of the lineup. And how about a father-son game at the major league level? The shortstop is George Lombard Jr. The bench coach for the Tigers, of course, is his dad, George Lombard Sr.
That's a great story. So you've got the family ties in there, you have the musical reference, and then you also have the movie reference.
Seth Rothman, our graphics coordinator, I think was very impressed with that, Bob. You gotta bring your creativity game.
And you got to keep him on his toes, by the way. On a game-by-game basis, Seth needs to be on his toes.
Yeah, I didn't get a grunt this time, so that you liked him. I got a wry smile.
Warren behind 2-0 to Riley Green. And a nice little sweeper in for a strike, 2-1.
By the way, Bob, how about that? Father-son. I mean, it's a spring training game, I know, but what are you thinking right now? If you're George Lombard Sr., of course you want the Tigers to win the game and you want your team to perform well. Your kid is playing shortstop for the other team.
He wants a 10-0 Tigers win and his son to go 4 for 4, right?
Yeah, pretty incredible. Great story. Lombard Jr. having a great spring for the Yankees. And I'm sure his dad watching is beyond proud.
3-1 pitch fouled away, 3-2.
Only 19 years old. Very mature player. When Yankee executives talk about him, they say as mature as any teenager that they've been around. And that's obviously because of the lineage, Bob. He's been around Major League Baseball with his dad. He understands and respects what that's all about.
Grounded right side. Vivas on to second for one, and a double play. Warren getting a pitcher's best friend thanks to his teammates as we head to the bottom of the first. There's your leadoff hitter, Austin Wells. Got to take the catcher's gear off. Strapped up for the leadoff at bat here in the bottom half of the first inning. So let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Sandals, made of Caribbean. Wells back in the leadoff spot. Aaron Judge batting second with Cody Bellinger third and Paul Goldschmidt hitting cleanup. Trent Grisham is in center batting fifth. Dominic Smith is the DH today. Couple of homers this spring. George Lombard is at short. Yorvit Vivas is at second, and Andrew Velasquez rounds out the order at third base. He will face the veteran right-hander Kenta Maeda, making his fourth start of the spring. He has looked very good so far after a subpar year last year with Detroit. So he's battling for a rotation spot for the Tigers. Let's take a look at the Hyundai pitcher scouting report on Maeda.
Yeah, so you cheated off my paper because that's my first point in the scouting report. The rotation battle between he and Casey Mize, probably for that fifth spot. And so far, he's had improved velocity in spring training. And why is that so important on the fastball, Bob? Because he wants to give me an S or two. Throws a lot of splitters, sliders, and sweepers. And when you have some separation and you've got extra velocity on your fastball, it's going to make those other pitches that spin even more impressive.
Well, it's had an effect so far on opposing hitters. In 3 starts so far this spring, 11 strikeouts for Maeda against just 1 walk. First pitch swinging, Austin Wells powers that one to right field with Carey. And Carey over the wall, and a leadoff home run for Austin Wells. He's done it again, and just like that, the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
We've mentioned a few times this spring, as you see the young fan pretty excited about collecting that souvenir, that the Yankees have never had a catcher lead off for them in a regular season game. That is going to change this season. Here's another reason why, another piece of evidence why. Wells just powering up this first pitch from Maeda. We had Austin Powers as one of our keys to the game, and he provides in his first at-bat.
So here's Aaron Judge. One more look at that, and again, just a little bit of extra carry over the wall, and Green had no chance to get that one. There's that splitter you were talking about, missing 2-0.
Bob, he threw his splitter more than any other pitch last year, almost a third of the time. Good take by Judge there not to stray out of the zone.
And goes off speed and just nicks the outside. Now, do you think in part because they know the profile of Maeda this spring so far, throwing a little bit more of the fastball, it's up a tick that maybe Wells was thinking first pitch fastball? Sure, looked like it.
Sure, Bob. You get scatter reports in spring training, and I actually think that every hitter in spring training is looking to go up there and attack a fastball when you can. You know pitchers are working on various things, but if you can get an early fastball in a count and do some damage, that's a perfect approach in the spring.
2-2 pitch coming up to Aaron Judge. And a swing and a miss for out number 1. Let's take a look at the defense behind Kenta Maeda for the Tigers, left to right in the outfield. It's Carpenter, Kreidler, and Green, Kreidler, and Carpenter. Young, Sweeney, Torres, and Keith around the infield. Dingler behind the plate.
Yeah, Judge victimized by the splitter there. Last year, batters hit 182 against Maeda's splitter, but obviously he needs to have the other pitches come along with it. He's actually going to challenge that one and having a little conversation with Maeda about it.
The pitch was a strike. The count is 0-1.
I wonder if that, Bob, based on Bellinger kind of smiling and saying something to Maeda, if this was just, I'm going to try this out one time in spring training to see if my eye is right, but to see also how the system works.
And another splitter there and a swing and a miss, 0-2. Well, on the pitching side of that, we saw Garrett Cole in his last start try that. He just wanted to kick the tires on it, so a pitch that he thought was close, and it was actually less than an inch off. 0-2 pitch to Bellinger. And if you're successful with it, keep throwing it. Maeda does another splitter, and Bellinger goes down swinging, 2 away.
Yeah, and that one was even better than the one that struck out Judge. Look at the movement and the depth that Maeda gets on that pitch. Bellinger goes down on 3 pitches.
Brings up Paul Goldschmidt. And a first pitch fastball bottom of the zone called for a strike.
Bob, last year Maeda's splitter 3.5 feet of vertical drop. So when you see a swing like that from a good hitter like Bellinger, why didn't he hit that splitter? Well, because it had 3.5 feet of drop. A little shorter than that, 39 inches. So 3 feet 3 inches.
One pitch. The one thing about Maeda, too, and the way his ball comes at you, he's very upright on the mound. There's not a lot of dropping down to three-quarters. Everything seems to come from over the top, almost bearing down on you as a hitter.
Yeah, it's a great point by you, Bob, and he has that little slight hesitation. David Cohn would always call it the gather. Coney used to gather himself at the belt a little bit. You see that Maeda has some of that as well. There it is, right there. And that is his timing mechanism, but that's also a timing mechanism, Bob, that can disrupt a hitter because they're looking for that release point.
Oh, Goldschmidt getting a hold of that one and driving it out to right field. That will fly over the wall. Second home run of the inning for the Yankees. Both solo shots. Goldschmidt goes deep, and the Yanks have a 2-0 lead. Jack, you heard that coming off the bat. You knew that was going to go.
Safe to say that Goldschmidt picked up on Maeda's release point there and going the opposite way. Yankees thrilled to see that, and that's a pitch that's up in the zone a little bit more, but a great job by Goldschmidt going out and getting it, Bob, and going with the pitch. And if you know, Steinbrenner Field has the same dimensions as Yankee Stadium, so this is what the Yankees dream about. Goldschmidt being able to take advantage of going to right field, going to right center, a good enough hitter to be able to do that.
2-0 Yanks. Grisham, first pitch swinging, ball flying over the wall and gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Yankees. Trent Grisham liked what he saw on the very first pitch from Maeda. 3-0 Yanks.
Stay away from the splitter, get him early in the count. That's been the approach that has worked for a few Yankee hitters this inning. Grisham now following up what Wells and Goldschmidt did as well and going deep. One more look at it. Yeah, it's a fastball, and that's the pitch we talked about, how he had a little more velocity on that pitch this spring. He's got to throw that because the splitter is more of a swing and miss pitch, a pitch that's not going to be in the zone all the time. So he's got to feature his fastball often enough, and 2 of the home runs the Yankees hit this inning on first pitch fastballs.
Wells and Grisham, and now a 1-0 pitch to Dom Smith, who grounds to first base. Colt Keith takes it himself, and that will do it for the Yankees with 3 solo home runs. Lead it 3-0 in Tampa as we go to the second.
Even a game as timeless as baseball must evolve. Only you can control your journey's evolution.
That's a base hit.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Yes is presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field with the legendary capability of the Ford Bronco, official SUV of the New York Yankees. Visit your local Ford store for a test drive. Jack Kestenbaum with Yes. He's got a test drive right there. Little electric vehicle. One pitch, ground ball to short. Lombard tosses it across. Torkelson retired here for the first out, and there he goes.
Where do I get one of those, Bob? I think I need one of those to go rolling around New Jersey, especially, how about the Yes logo, the little Mike flag at the front there. Jack Kestenbaum. He's got some swagger right there.
We're gonna, Yes legend, we're gonna contact him about that. I'm gonna see if we can get you one here. How about you rolling around just the parking lot in one of those?
I'm ready. Do you have the Segway that you used a few years ago?
Can you imagine? Wow. That is Colt Keith to second base. Vivas on to first. Quickly 2 away for Warren and the Yanks.
I like Warren's pace. I like what he's doing with his pitches, Bob. A couple of balls struck hard so far in this game, but he's getting the outs. That double play to end the first inning was very important. And against a lefty like Sweeney, let's see if at some point in this at-bat he gets to feature the changeup, because one of the things that Warren knows he has to get better at to succeed at the major league level is retiring left-handed batters, and that changeup will be vital to making that occur.
Little off speed, knocks it out to left. Bellinger and Grisham converge, and it's Bellinger all the way. And that will do it. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Yanks and Will Warren as we go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Yanks.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Even a game as timeless as baseball must evolve. Only you can control your journey's evolution.
That's a base hit.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
Could switching to Geico really save you 15?
Training presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field with a legendary Ford Bronco, official SUV of the Yankees. Powered by 3 first-inning solo shots. Yanks lead at 3-0 on the Ford scoreboard, as it's the 7-8-9 hitters for the Yanks, leading off George Lombard Jr. And for more on Lombard Jr., let's get it down to Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith?
Well, guys, he's been impressing so far this camp at just 19 years old. Jack, I think you made the comment on another broadcast that you wouldn't know he's 19 if you just watched the guy play. And the captain, Aaron Judge, had some high praise for him, saying the tools are all there. He is excited for his future. He works hard. He goes about his business, doesn't say too much, just likes to get his work in. The power is already showing he is going to be someone very special. He has 2 home runs so far this spring. And Jack, you also noted that his dad is the bench coach for the Detroit Tigers, and you wondered what he might be thinking watching his kid out there in the batter's box right now and playing shortstop for the Yankees this afternoon. Well, he's just like any other dad. When I saw him the other day, he said, "Hey, he's behaving over there, right? He's doing everything he's supposed to." And I said, "Of course he is. You raised him." So always checking in on his son.
That is a shot out to right field. Carpenter makes the catch, but a line out, noisy out for Lombard Jr. 1 away.
Meredith, you've had the chance to interview Lombard Jr. a few times. His dad's smiling right there. That's what the dad wants. He hit it hard, but it was an out. I'm sure that's what Hinch said to him. He made good contact, but we'll take the out. But back to his maturity level, Meredith, 19 years old. But he carries himself like a guy, as we both said, a guy who belongs.
He is very much polished, and he attributes a lot of that to his father, the fact that he's been around the game. He said, not many people love baseball as much as I do, but my dad is right up there. He's taught me everything I need to know. I have the baseball IQ I have because I've been around it so much, and the development as well, making sure that he was doing things the right way. So he's probably wise beyond his years, Jack, and you kind of see that in the way that he plays.
Yormid Vivas down the line and left field, and that'll drop about 5 feet fair. Vivas heading to second. Stand-up double here with one away. Meredith, just one more thought on that, because you've had a chance to talk to Cody Bellinger, too. Bellinger echoes those same sentiments, right? Like, there's something to these players who sort of grew up around major league clubhouses, as Bellinger and Lombard Jr. have.
Well, you see it every day, and you have somebody who can give you the proper instruction at home. It's certainly an advantage when you think about it all. And you kind of just know what the day-to-day life is like, where other guys don't really experience that until they get into professional baseball. So certainly looked at those experiences as helpful for both of those guys.
Maeda missing with a breaking ball to the number 9 hitter, Andrew Velasquez. Solid contact today so far for the Yankees in their first go-round in the lineup against Kenta Maeda.
Bebas going the other way to get that extra base hit. Bob, I'm glad you brought up contact. He is a contact king. He's only struck out about 13% of the time in his minor league plate appearances. He's walked about 11% of the time, and there are not a lot of players who have that combination. I'm sorry, struck out about 11% of the time. So his ability to put the ball in play, his aggressiveness, his feistiness, those are some of the things that the Yankees like. They talk about him having a lot of confidence in his abilities, and it's just a matter of a numbers game for him now. He still has another minor league option, but the Yankees do see him as somebody who could fill an infield spot at some point.
Velasquez out to left field. Green calling off the center fielder Kreidler. 2 away.
There's a former Yankee second baseman, and Bebas hopes a future Yankee infielder reconnecting at second base.
Bebas turning 24 yesterday.
A couple of Venezuelan infielders making sure they said hello to each other.
2 away, back to the top of the order, and Austin Wells, who led off the game with a solo home run. His 3rd of the spring and 2nd in 3 days or 4 days. He homered on Friday in a leadoff at bat against the Blue Jays, and homered again here against Maeda.
And you see the player standing right behind Bebas is Trey Sweeney. We should point out this, Bob. December of 23. Bebas was acquired from the Dodgers along with left-handed pitcher Victor Gonzalez for Trey Sweeney. So there you go. Take that snapshot. That's your trade baseball card.
Austin Wells goes the opposite way out to left center field, but Kreidler is there, and that will do it. Yanks strand a runner at second as we go to the top of the 3rd. 3-0 New York.
A real meal deserves a real dessert, like the DQ $7 meal deal. With a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and a sundae, you get an honest-to-goodness full meal all for just $7 at DQ.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a long laugh take a long free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was
Put the love right on me.
totally worth it. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Even a game is timeless.
Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training, presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field with the legendary Ford Bronco, official SUV of the Yankees. As the Yankees lead at 3-0, powered by 3 solo home runs, 3-zip on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. Earlier today, Meredith Morakovitz had the chance to catch up with pitching coach Matt Blake. It's our interview of the day, brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Matt, the starting rotation has taken some hits here in spring. Luis Heel out for a significant amount of time, still waiting to hear confirmation on Garrett Cole. How do you even wrap your head around trying to replace those 2 guys in the rotation?
Yeah, obviously 2 key cogs in the rotation over the last few years. You know, it's going to be a challenge, but, you know, we got plenty of guys in camp that are ready to step up to the challenge, and, you know, we got to go from there.
With Luis Heel, did you notice during that bullpen session right away that there was something up with him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you have a pretty good read on their body language, and felt like something was a little off, so we kind of stopped him and just asked, and he kind of said there was a little tightness to him, and you never know to what degree, but you said, all right, let's not go any further, and then obviously we got some assessments and some testing done.
With Cole, any update, anything with the latest on where he is at?
Yeah, not right now, so I think they'll probably have some more information later today.
And you look at those 2 guys, one guy that's vying for a spot now in that rotation is Will Warren. What growth have you seen from him so far this spring?
Yeah, I thought it was, you know, obviously not the performance he wanted to see when he came up last year, but, you know, took it in stride and put some work in this offseason, you know, continue to develop the 4-seamer, continue to refine the changeup, you know, have a little bit better understanding of his attack plan versus righties and lefties, and so far so good this spring.
Do you think he's been gaining confidence this spring?
Yeah, I'd like to believe so. I mean, anytime you put some effort in the offseason, you put your process together, and then you come out and have some results early on, it should be a confidence boost and showing that he can do this. Now, he's got to continue to do it.
You also have a veteran in the mix in Carlos Carrasco. What have you seen from him so far this camp? I know he just threw for the first time yesterday.
I mean, he's, you know, steady presence. He's a veteran. He's been around the game. He knows what it takes to succeed. Obviously, his arsenal's continuing to evolve over the years. He's got a really good slider and a really good split, and it's kind of patching things around that. So, you know, really, we've seen a lot of strikes and, you know, a good presence out there.
When you guys get together collectively and talk about the decisions in that rotation, how much do you weigh a guy that's been there before, the veteran in Carrasco, and a guy that's kind of an up-and-comer like a Will Warren?
Yeah, I think he's definitely something you consider. You know, when's the right time to have Will in the mix? You know, obviously Cookie's ready to go right out of the gate. It's just a matter of what gives us the best chance, both in the short term and over the, you know, long course of the season.
Anyone else you see as someone that could be a candidate to fill a spot in that rotation?
Yeah, I mean, Alan Winans threw the other night as well. Eric Leal, both of them pitched over in the east side. You know, both of them did a nice job. You know, Lee Brandt's, you know, coming along nice. So I think all these guys are right in the thick of it and will give us some opportunities over the course of the spring to get a better sense of them.
When you look at the bullpen as well, a couple spots open there. Just how much of your time is spent being with all these guys, watching their every move, their every pitch as it unfolds this spring?
Yeah, I think, you know, anytime you got 36 some odd guys in camp, you're trying to put your eyes on, you know, the ones that you maybe don't know as well. You know, obviously giving the time to the veterans that you got to make sure you're getting ready. But, you know, learning a lot of these guys that we've got from outside the org, like where, you know, what makes them tick, you know, what's their arsenal look like, what's it look like under pressure, you know, how do they like to train. So spend a lot of time with these guys, just getting a better sense of them. And, you know, a couple of them really stood out so far.
Devin Williams expected to play a huge role, obviously, in the back end of that bullpen. We saw him the other day in Clearwater. Just what was your early impression of him so far this camp?
Yeah, I mean, as advertised, you know, he's got a calm demeanor out there. He's got a good presence on the mound. Obviously, a really good changeup. Complements it with a plus fastball and, you know, developing cutter. So I think, you know, he's going to fit nice back there.
Any other pitchers you want to tell us about that you were just dying to talk about right now before this game starts?
That's a pretty good start right there.
Matt, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Send it back to you guys.
Meredith, thank you. Pitching on the minds of everybody with what's happening with Heel and Cole and the way Warren is pitching. They also mentioned Carrasco yesterday. So there's certainly some options as Warren walked the leadoff hitter here, but then got Jace Young to pop one up to Velasquez. That brings up the 9-hitter Ryan Kreidler.
Lots of insight from Meredith with Matt Blake there, Bob. But during that interview, I did want to point out a couple of things that happened in that bat against Young. Warren falls behind 2-1. Okay, it's a fastball count traditionally. What are you going to throw in that spot? He comes in with a changeup. As we see a ball fumbled here by Vivas, he's not going to be able to get anything. Potential double play ball ends up being mishandled. Ball was hit hard, but Vivas will tell you himself that's probably a play that he should have made.
Looked, Jack, too, like it might have just hopped near or on the bag.
Did it skip off the base? It did. So a little, you're right, Bob, a little extra wrinkle there for Vivas. So tougher play than I initially realized to skid it off the base. Back to that Young at bat, though. 2-1, he throws a changeup. He gets a strike. Comes back 2-2. He says, I'm going to challenge you with my fastball. Doesn't get the call, but would have tried to get Young to extend. He didn't go outside the zone for it. Now 3-2, he bends in his sweeper. He throws it there. So I just think that's a Young pitcher getting smarter, using his entire arsenal, not giving in to the hitter.
Well, he's looked good today. Bit of a jam here with runners at first and second, and back to the top of the lineup, Gleyber Torres, who grounded out to short in his first at bat. Commits on the swing, 0-1.
Fielder's choice E4 on that play from Kreidler. Puts a couple of runners on base, and now here's your challenge for Warren. Andy Pettitte used to always talk about limiting damage. You do not want to let these guys advance another 90 feet. What can you do in this at-bat? Can you get another ground ball? Can you throw that sinker? Can you get Torres to be out in front on a pitch, to hit something into the ground and get yourself out of this inning?
Got a double play ground ball to end things in the first inning. It was a 4-6-3 double play. 1-1 pitch to Gleyber. Just misses inside. Or is that called a strike? 2-1. It was a ball.
I think Gleyber would have challenged that one.
Dingler's on second. Kreidler on first. And Gleyber smokes that one to left, and that'll get into the corner. One run will score. The runner from first is going to try and score, and he will. So the Tigers, on the double by Torres, take a 2-1 lead. Rather, they're down 3-2.
Hitters count 2-1. Gleyber Torres able to jump on a sinker that was up in the zone there from Warren. Yeah, you want that sinker to be down, not in a place where Torres can do that kind of damage. So the infield error ends up haunting the Yankees, and then a couple of former teammates having a little chat. Judge and Torres, who did a lot of damage offensively as a tandem.
Brings up Kerry Carpenter, chops one to the right side. Goldschmidt to the covering Warren as the runner advances. 2 away. So the confidence on a 2-1 pitch to throw a changeup, but there to Gleyber on 2-1 goes with a sinker instead.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get in on his hands a little bit, get it down in the zone. As I said, maybe tie him up and get a ground ball, but that pitch was up, and Gleyber, who is a very good hitter, able to do some damage. Guy with a lifetime OPS of 774. As a 22-year-old, Gleyber had 38 homers for the Yankees. Actually got some MVP votes that year, was an all-star. That's a really good changeup right there to Green. That's a pitch if you're Austin Wells. When you go back to the dugout and you're talking to Warren, you're saying more of that, please. And now you got him 0-2. What does he do? Does he try and change his eye level, or does he think the changeup is the money pitch again here?
He thought the changeup was the money pitch, and it certainly was. Gets him swinging, but Gleyber with a double scores a couple for the Tigers. Good way to wrap up this inning as we head to the top of the fourth.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
A real meal deserves a real dessert, like the DQ $7 meal deal. With a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and a sundae. You get an honest-to-goodness full meal, all for just $7 at DQ.
Why are we walking so slowly?
It makes this scene feel more cinematic.
I get that. It's just maybe not the best time to walk in slow motion.
It's the only time to walk in slow motion.
ACE's new Yard RX program prescribes the best lawn care, specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, now you can get a personal prescription delivered to you from the helpful folks at ACE.
By Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Bottom of the third at George M. Steinbrenner Field, 3-2 on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. And the 2-3-4 hitters for the Yanks coming up against Kenta Maeda. Aaron Judge starting things off. That pitch nowhere close from Maeda. Judge striking out swinging in his first at bat.
Judge telling Meredith earlier this spring 40 to 50 at-bats was a baseline for what he would hope to get this spring. Each batter is different, and I think, Bob, in 2025, more than at any other time, with all of the advancements that players and teams have, they are getting so many viable swings that are taking place outside of games that you can get yourself ready in that way too. And Maeda, though he gave up 3 home runs in the first inning, Bob, when he has thrown that splitter, that has looked season ready. That has looked mid-season ready.
This is a rotation for the Tigers that has Tariq Skubal. Jack Flaherty is back. So they've got a good 1-2 punch off the top. Maeda trying to fit in there as the 4 or 5. Gets Judge there with a fastball looking for the first out here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, he got him to chase on the splitter, and then he goes outside with the fastball and catches the corner with a 92-mile-per-hour four-seamer. Good job by Maeda.
Cody Bellinger also struck out in the first inning. Looks at a fastball away, 1-0.
Bellinger in left field today, Bob. Jason Dominguez not in the starting lineup. I do think that Bellinger's versatility this season is going to be so vital for Aaron Boone. Just what he provides and his ability to play so many different positions and his willingness to play so many different positions. The first introductory Zoom press conference, so to speak, that he did with members of the New York media, he said, he told Aaron Boone, "I'll play wherever you need me."
Wouldn't be surprising to see him in all 3 outfield positions at some point this season, right?
Absolutely.
Especially if Judge is DHing.
Absolutely, and I think as the Yankees have the uncertainty surrounding Giancarlo Stanton, you're going to see other players filling in that DH spot, Judge being one of them.
Off the glove of Maeda. Good hustle by Bellinger, and he's aboard.
And this is a liner under the glove or off the glove, as you said. Hit hard, but not stung at 100 miles an hour. But still, I'm not standing 60 feet 6 inches away, so that's easy for me to say. It comes back at you, and no matter what the speed is, when it's coming at you like that, it's not always the easiest play to make.
Paul Goldschmidt in the bottom of the first went oppo for a solo home run, the second of the inning for the Yanks. They had 3 in the inning from Wells, Goldschmidt, and Grisham. That was his second home run of the spring. Goldschmidt with 5 runs batted in so far. 0-1 pitch from Maeda. Well struck but foul. 0-2.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how much the fact that he went the opposite way on a pitch down and away, how that bodes well for the Yankees, for Goldschmidt, and hitting at Yankee Stadium. He hit 22 home runs for the Cardinals last season. I envision that number being higher with him playing 81 games at Yankee Stadium if he has the ability to go to the opposite way like that. His second half last year, he was a much better hitter. You see where he stacks in the active MLB home run leaders. He talked about, Bob, just not allowing himself to get in the best counts in the first half of the season, and allowing pitchers to dictate more than he was dictating. A lot of this, a lot of 0-2, a lot of 1-2. He has been a hitter who traditionally in his career has been a really good 2-strike hitter. In fact, a couple of years back, Aaron Judge had a mutual hitting session, a joint hitting session, because he wanted to pick Goldschmidt's brain about that.
And that was a good adjustment on a pitch down in the zone. Another splitter that he hits to left. So Bellinger advances, first and second, 1 away. It's good work to make an adjustment on that splitter.
Yeah, again, in a 2-strike situation, he almost can predict that that's the pitch that Maeda is going to throw. And you see Goldschmidt waiting back a little bit right there and finding the hole into left field.
So Goldschmidt 2 for 2. Trent Grisham homered in the first pitch that he saw from Maeda in the bottom of the first. First and second, 1 away for him here. And looks at a sweeper in for a strike, 0-1.
Grisham looms as a very interesting player for the Yankees in 25, Bob, because of the fact that we've mentioned Stanton will be starting the season on the IL. How do you fill in that DH spot? Well, when you use a Judge or perhaps even a Bellinger or a Dominguez, you're going to see Grisham in the outfield. And the Yankees hope they see him doing more of that. A first pitch fastball, drilling it out of the ballpark. He knew when he came to the Yankees that his playing time would be reduced, but in the 3 previous seasons with the Padres before that, he had over 500 plate appearances in all 3 seasons. Last year with the Yankees, a shade over 200. He's got those 2 gold gloves, though. You see the numbers he has produced in his career. And if you are planning on getting better athletically and better defensively, which is what the Yankees talked about in the offseason, Grisham does provide that elite defense in center field.
Has an RBI opportunity here in the bottom of the third with Bellinger on second, Goldschmidt at first. And a swing and a miss there on another really good splitter from Maeda, 2 away.
Yeah, like I said, you get to 2 strikes against Maeda, you can almost book it that that's the pitch you're going to get. Goldschmidt made an adjustment and delivered. Grisham, against a really tough pitch, swings over it.
2 away, and Dom Smith is batting. The DH today for the Yanks, rounded to first in his first at bat. And Maeda missing inside, 1-0. Smith rockets one out to right field. That one is going to get into the corner. 1 run will score as Bellinger touches the plate. Goldschmidt rounding. He will score as well. Couple runs knocked in there by Dom Smith. And the Yankees extend their lead to 5-2.
We talk about roster construction and where do certain players fit in. There's a sweeper that is up in the zone, not where Maeda wanted it, but exactly where Dom Smith wanted it. He came to the plate, as you said, smelling a couple of runs batted in, and then he gets that sweeper up and delivers a 2-run double.
Good offensive performance so far this afternoon for the Yankees. Smith is on second with 2 away. And George Lombard Jr. comes up for his second at bat. He lined out to right in his first. Gets an 0-1 splitter, fouls it away, 0-2. His dad looking on, the bench coach for the Tigers, and as we mentioned in that first at bat, got to see his son rip one out to right, but it was a line drive out, so no harm, no foul ultimately for the Tigers in that second inning. That is a ground ball to third, and that will do it here in the bottom of the third. The Yankees add a couple more runs. They lead it 5-2.
And the New York Yankees.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game, knock it out the park, knock it out. You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game.
The catch was thrown, not in time.
Marcus Lynn Betts, best player on the planet.
I love watching Mookie play.
On the Hall of Fame highway.
It's a blessing to have those expectations.
Goodness, and that one is gonna go. Mookie Betts, what a monster.
Got some more unfinished business to take care of.
For the fourth at George M. Steinbrenner Field, 5-2 Yankees lead it on the Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. As Will Warren gets set to face the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Tigers, and we welcome in Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Might as well start right here with Warren, though that was an errant pitch. So far today, he's looked good again for another start here in the spring.
Yeah, I really just like how his arsenal keeps evolving, you know, being able to use the four-seamer, the changeup, the curveball. You know, he's facing good left-handed hitters today, and I feel like done a good job with them. Had the leadoff walk last inning to the righty there, which, you know, that's the one we got to avoid there. But just feel like he's in really good place, throwing the ball well and pitching with confidence, and just he's getting better at the craft, and it's been fun to watch it.
Aaron, I know it's 17 days until you will open the season, but how great a position or how good a position has Warren put himself in to travel north with the team?
Yeah, he's definitely right smack in the middle of that mix. So, you know, like you said, we got 17 days to still work through this, but he's definitely square in the middle of, you know, whether you want to call it competition, whatever, to make the most decision. And it's not necessarily just because, you know, we've obviously had a couple pitchers go down here in Garrett and Luis, but more of where he continues to evolve, we feel like, in his craft and what we feel like he can be. So we're excited about him, and we'll see if that's to start or not.
You mentioned Cole. What would you describe about the status of Garrett Cole and his situation right now?
Yeah, I mean, uncertain. He's obviously back in LA with meeting with Elatraj, so just kind of getting all the eyes on it and everyone to weigh in, and then you know, we'll make the best decision from there.
We've heard Brian Cashman say he's preparing for the worst case scenario. We heard Garrett Cole saying he's concerned. You're the manager, Aaron. You have to make out that lineup and make out that rotation. How hard does it hit you, the uncertainty of whether or not you're going to have Cole?
I mean, look, when you're in this, come on, get there. Nice play. When you know, I just turned 52. I've been in this game since I was in diapers, pretty much. So, you know, it's part of it. You know, unfortunately, you know, sometimes you lose guys. Sometimes you lose, obviously, guys of Garrett Cole's stature. You know, and you've got to be able to handle it and deal with it and maneuver. And it's you know, not a death sentence for us by any means. So it's an opportunity for someone else. And you know, look, if it is, you know, where he does have to go get surgery, you know, hopefully that's something too that not only serves us well in the long haul, instead of, like, you know, if he's compromised at all or in a tough situation. You know, the reality is Garrett still has a lot of pitching in front of him in his career and pitching with the Yankees, and you know, we want that to be as successful as it's been already, and whatever the course of action is, it is, and we'll go from there. Look, we're in a similar situation last year where Garrett went down at this time. Obviously, we didn't lose him for the season, but you know, we were able to kind of thrive, and it was because other people got opportunities and other people stepped up and established themselves at this level.
You know, you bring up a great point. The Yankees, especially over the past few years, have not only survived but thrived on that next man up philosophy. Looks like Warren could be that guy. Got a really nice outing from Carlos Carrasco last night, so there seem to be a lot of guys that could fill that spot and, you know, it's kind of tether you to some wins as the season begins.
Yeah, no question. Carlos was really good yesterday again, so he's come into camp in a really good spot, throwing the ball well. So he's certainly put himself in the mix for things, and you know, feel like the other guys, the established, the Rodons and Fried and, you know, Stroman and Clark, I feel like are all in pretty good places and how they're throwing the ball and what they're going to mean to our staff. And then, you know, hopefully you get other guys that kind of emerge and step up and become a part of things. I got to make a change, guys. I'll be right back.
Gotcha. Okay. Pitching change coming up for Aaron Boone as we chat with him here in the top half of the fourth inning. We'll step away for just a moment. We'll be back right after this on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
Hurry into the Nissan Now sales event to save on an award-winning...
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the gang, knock it out the park, knock it out. You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the gang.
Be back at Steinbrenner Field. Aaron Boone making the pitching change, bringing in Yoendris Gomez. Now, we've talked a lot about pitching. Aaron, who's back with us, you also have 5 runs on the board, 3 solo home runs in the first. And again, Austin Wells impressive in that leadoff spot. That's his second game in 4 days where he's had a leadoff home run, and just looks like he's already almost in midseason form in terms of that swing.
He looks great. I mean, I'm so excited about where Austin Wells is on both sides of the ball, and just continues to, establish himself as a leader in our room. And I think we got a really, really, really good one back there leading our team.
Aaron, your family's lineage in this game is well known, so you're the perfect person to answer this question. How cool is it for George Lombard Jr. and George Lombard Sr. to be participating in a Major League spring training game? Quick story, when Junior lined out to right field, I think Hinch was saying to him, okay, good at bat, but we got him out. And Lombard Sr. just had a huge smile on his face.
Yeah, it is really cool. We got to do it last year, last spring training, where George was over here and got to play in front of his dad over there. But now he's actually a year further along and more entrenched in our camp, and obviously we're watching him just continue to emerge as a player, and why we're so excited about him. But to get to do it with Dad over there and probably get to go have dinner with him tonight is very cool.
Well, that is a great story. Very cool. Aaron, thank you. And by the way, a belated happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys.
Become a Yankees Universe member today. Members enjoy exclusive benefits, including 2 tickets to a select 2025 Yankees regular season home game, fast-track entry into Yankee Stadium, and much more. Become an Explorer or Rookie Yankees Universe member today. Visit Yankees.com/universe. 5-2 Yankees lead it as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters, starting with Yorvik Vivas, who doubled in his first at-bat in the second. Kenta Maeda out for his 4th inning of work. Yankees got to him for 3 solo home runs in the bottom of the 1st, and then tacked on 2 more runs in the 3rd on an RBI double by Dom Smith. Vivas almost coming out of his shoes, almost lost the helmet there on that 2-0 pitch.
Big swing, and then, as you said, Bob, hang on to the helmet. Goal for Vivas: stay healthy in 2025. Show exactly what you can do. He's dealt with some injuries since joining the Yankees. His debut season in 24, limited to just 101 games in the minor leagues. Actually suffered an orbital fracture late in spring training. A training he was working with, Bob, snapped and hit him in the eye.
Pops that one too short. A little bit of problem there for Trey Sweeney, but he hauls it in, one away.
So the guy who he was traded for, part of the trade, makes the catch to retire Bibas.
That'll bring up Andrew Velasquez. He flew out to left field in his first at bat. You know, while we were talking with Aaron Boone about pitching, and we mentioned Will Warren, Carlos Carrasco, we should note that Clark Schmidt scheduled to make his first spring start tomorrow, Jack, against the Orioles. So that's some more good news in terms of the starting pitching. They want to start ramping Schmidt up for a regular season.
Yes, and you start looking at that Yankee rotation, and depending on what happens with Cole, Schmidt's role and his responsibility in that rotation, always important, grows a little bit. He's talked about the things that he has worked on, and one of those things, wanting to go deeper into games, wanting to get that third time through the order. He has talked about wanting to emulate Garrett Cole and be more durable. So that's one of the things that I think Schmidt will work on more in 25, but the stuff is there.
Well, Meredith has had a chance to talk to him. What do you have to say, Meredith?
Well, Jack, he's not going to go deep in tomorrow's game, but that is all planned. He told me he's probably going to pitch about 2 innings tomorrow, but when I asked him, when I saw him in the clubhouse earlier today, if he was still a go for tomorrow, he just smiled and said he is ready to go. So he's very much looking forward to getting back out there on the mound and could play a huge role in this Yankees rotation, especially considering their injuries we've already mentioned.
Austin Wells is 1 for 2. Leadoff solo home run. That was first pitch swinging, and then first pitch swinging here on his third at bat. Pops one up, and that will do it. So a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th for Maeda and the Tigers. Let's take it to the 5th. Yanks up 5-2.
Select Michael Trout.
It's a dream come true.
He plays like a Hall of Famer.
One of the greatest players of all time.
That ball is routed here.
And just drink this in. He's not even close to being done.
I come to the ballpark every day trying to get better.
Generational play.
Ball's crushed.
He's rocking and rolling.
Well, it's his world.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
A different kind of juice when you see an all-time great player.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
We're back at George M. Steinbrenner Field. 5-2 Yanks lead it on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. Let's get to our memorable moment in Yankees history, presented by Prevagen, made for the brain. December 8, 2009, the Yankees and Tigers, along with the Diamondbacks, swung a 3-team deal as the Yankees got Curtis Granderson. Tigers picked up 3 pitchers and an outfielder, including Max Scherzer in that deal. And then the Diamondbacks acquired Ian Kennedy and Edwin Jackson. Granderson went on to become a 2-time All-Star with the Yankees, and that had a ripple effect for a variety of teams. And as we know, Scherzer this year now pitching for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you look at that trade and you study it and recall how it worked out for each team. The Yankees coming off winning a World Series. Johnny Damon had been their center fielder. They liked Granderson. They wanted Granderson. He went on to have a couple of 40 home run seasons with the Yankees. But I love going back and trying to break down a trade like that and seeing exactly what it yielded for each team.
Yuendris Gomez back out there. He replaced Will Warren in the last inning, and he'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Dylan Dingler is the first batter. catching today. He walked and later scored in that 2-run third for the Tigers.
We start talking about that Yankee bullpen, Bob, and who's going to end up filling those last couple of spots, because Loizago will start the season on the IL. Cousins probably starting the season on the IL. Someone like Gomez, who actually has a starter's repertoire. We've talked about this. Some relievers have 2, maybe 3 pitches. This guy who has 4 or 5 pitches, he could absolutely be in the mix there.
1-2 pitch to Dingler, who takes that one out to center field. Grisham on the run. And with his glove about 1.5 feet off the ground, makes the catch on the liner, 1 away.
Yeah, this is an example of an outfielder getting a good jump. You will watch Grisham and just watch how quickly, Bob, he moves towards that ball and catches maybe knee high, but makes a play that was not easy look easy.
1 away brings up Jace Young. Hop to third base in his first at bat.
Getting back to Gomez, 4-seamer, sweeper, slider, curveball, changeup. So he would come out of the bullpen with a healthy arsenal to go after hitters.
Missing away there, 1-1.
He's had some major league time in 23 and 24. Trying to extend that into 25.
Gomez is 25, signed as an international free agent in July of 2016. As Jack mentioned, 2 major league seasons, appeared in just 6 games. And last year at AAA and in the majors, a 175 batting average against. Who tries to spot a fastball on the outside part of the plate, just misses. 2-2.
Yeah, the changeup and the curveball are factors in him being able to get lefty hitters out, and depending on how the Yankees assemble that bullpen, we know Tim Hill, a lefty, will be part of it. To have somebody like Gomez who can come in and get righties and lefties out, very important.
And we talk about that a lot, don't we? These pitchers that can get both sides of the plate out, lefties and righties. It used to be so specialized. Just doesn't seem that way anymore. As Young lifts that one out to center field, Grisham got maybe a little bit of a misread there, but made up for it for out number 2. And gets a kick out of it as well.
Yeah, we just talked about him getting a terrific jump on a baseball, and you're right, Bob. This might have been, did he lose sight of it for a second, or did it have a little bit of a different angle to it?
Well, I think he thought as a lefty that might flare towards him or more towards the left field side, and it looked like it sort of knuckled more towards right center. But he got it. That's what matters. Gomez appreciates it. 2 away.
Yeah, the idea of a specialist, getting back to your point, out of the bullpen, Bob, with the need to come out of the pen and you have to face 3 batters. As Gomez just did.
There you go.
Better be able to get him out and right and left.
1, 2, 3, top of the 5th. Let's go to the bottom half.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Even a game as timeless as baseball must evolve. Only you can control your journey's evolution.
That's a base hit.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
And the Yankees family saying goodbye to one of their legends, the mourning the passing of Yankees pitcher Art Shalek, extending their deepest condolences to Art's family, friends, and loved ones. He won 3 World Series rings with the Yankees from 1951 to 53. He turned 100 this past April and had been baseball's oldest living player. So condolences to the Shalek family, from everybody around baseball, and certainly from the Yankees family. Helped him win 3 World Series championships. Bottom of the 5th at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees have a 5-2 lead. Andrew Chafin is the new pitcher for the Tigers. Face the 2-3-4 hitters, starting with Aaron Judge, who has struck out a couple times today.
You see Chafin's numbers on the 2024 season. Yankees were connected with him a little bit in the offseason as Judge takes that pitch down for ball 4. Chafin ends up with the Tigers.
Brings up Cody Bellinger. He has struck out and singled and scored a run in that 2-run third.
Like a lot of lefties, Chafin is sinker slider. He'll throw the 4-seamer as well. He's wearing number 0.
Tries to get a fastball in. He had a 4-pitch walk to Aaron Judge, and he's behind 2-0 to Bellinger.
Slider was his best pitch last season. Batters hit 127 against it.
We'll have to get the background story on the 0. You think, is it 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 ERA? What does it mean for a pitcher?
Well, of all the things you just mentioned, 0 ERA would be what you want to accomplish. Yeah, you don't often see pitchers with the single-digit number. He signed a minor league deal. Maybe it's about give me some more respect. I don't know. Now I'm curious.
2-0 pitch to Bellinger, missing inside 3-0.
Jason Beck of MLB.com reported earlier this spring that no Tiger has ever worn 0 in a regular season game. And he said since the number 17 that Chafin wore last year with Texas was worn by Jace Young, Chafin opted for 0.
Well, fans, the Yes app has moved to the Gotham Sports app, your new home for streaming live Yankees, Nets, and more, free with an eligible TV subscription. Download the Gotham Sports app now and sign in with your existing Yes app username and password, or visit gothamsports.com to get streaming. 2 walks to lead off the inning for Andrew Chafin. Judge and Bellinger aboard, and that brings up Paul Goldschmidt, who already has a solo home run and a single. Couple hits, couple runs.
I mentioned Texas, but Chafin obviously did time with the Tigers and with the Rangers last year, so it was the 17 that he wore with the Rangers.
Wild pitch there will advance the runners to second and third.
So we know the 0 doesn't stand for 0 walks, Bob.
We do know that. Maybe just
I'm being playful. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's spring training. He's obviously trying to find the plate. and Goldschmidt trying to deliver a couple across the plate.
Already with a run batted in. And Chafin continues to miss, 2-1. Second and third, nobody out. Hammers that one foul, 2-2. So far in his 2 at-bats, we've seen Goldschmidt make some nice 2-strike adjustments to get base hits.
Which is very noteworthy because of what he said about something that he didn't think he was exceptional at last season.
Chafin missing, count goes full 3-2. But he felt like that changed for him a little bit in that second half of the season, right?
Definitely got better at it in the second half, and when you look at the production that the Yankees received, or I should say the lack of production that they received from first base in 2024, even what Goldschmidt gave the Cardinals last year, which he considered a down season, would be a huge boost over what the Yankees received.
Payoff pitch to Goldschmidt, stays alive.
But we're also talking, Bob, about a player who's 2 years removed from winning an MVP in 2022. Goldschmidt, 35 home runs. He had an OPS of almost 1,000.
Gets a pitch up in the zone and knocks that one foul again, extending the at-bat. Good at bat by Goldschmidt, just fouling these pitches off from Chafin. Chafin already about to throw his 18th pitch. After walking Judge and Bellinger, wild pitch moved him to second and third. Goldschmidt just keeps battling.
Yeah, sinker slider. We talked about what Chafin is trying to do, and this is a hitter at work. It's a pitcher at work as well, but it's Goldschmidt trying to find a pitch that he can drive and dispatching the ones that he can't.
And decides to just let that one go, and that's 3 straight walks now for Chafin. Bases loaded for the Yankees, nobody out, and A.J. Hitch has seen enough of Chafin. 19 pitches, 3 walks issued. As he'll take the ball, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Yes.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
To a perfect family vacation, separate rooms. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Let's Let's take a look at the Citizens' upcoming schedule. A lot of baseball coming your way on Yes and the Gotham Sports app over the course of the next week plus. Tomorrow, it's a game against Tuesday that you can see on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Off day Wednesday, then Thursday, visiting the Tigers, followed by games against the Phillies, Rays, Pirates, and Blue Jays. Then into next week, a Tuesday tilt against the Red Sox. Yankees in business here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. 3 walks by Andrew Chafin. That brings in P.J. Pullen. Spent time at Double and Triple A last season. 60 innings of work over that span. Trent Grisham already has a home run and a strikeout on the afternoon. Looking at a 1-0 pitch. Grisham lifting that one out to left. That'll do the job getting a run home from third as Judge tags and scores. And a sac fly for Grisham, and it's 6-2 Yankees.
Situational hitting. You want to work on everything in spring training, and if you're Grisham, your job there is to get at least 1 run in. And how do you assure yourself of doing that? You want to put the baseball in the air. That's exactly what Grisham did. Judge comes in to score. And now it'll be Everson Pereira pinch hitting here, Bob, for Smith and coming up for the Yankees.
.40 games last year, 10 home runs. He's got runners at first and third, 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
When scouts talk about Pereira, the one thing or one of the highlights that they talk about is his power. He has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. When he was brought to the major leagues, it was a struggle. There's a lot of swing and miss in his game, but the power is there.
We saw him homer against the Blue Jays on Friday. This one gets a lot of air out to right. After Bellinger had tagged, he moved to third, so he will tag and score. Another run in, an RBI for Pereira, and a 7-2 Yankees lead.
You know what I said about situational hitting earlier, Bob? Just rewind and replace Trent Grisham's name with Everson Pereira. He gives it a ride going the opposite way. So you walk the first 3 batters of the inning, as Chafin did. The opposing team needs to make you pay for it, and that's what the Yankees have done so far. Lombard trying to see if he can deliver the third base runner. Goldschmidt still at first.
First pitch inside on the hands, misses 1-0. So Yanks already up 7-2, Jack. This would be a good spot to make Dad happy, right? Get a base hit, maybe a home run, extend the lead instead of rallying from behind against the Tigers. You just add to the lead. That was a big swing and a foul ball, 1-1.
Yeah, I think that the father sitting over there again is hoping for solid contact. The bench coach of the Tigers is hoping for an out. But it is a 7-2 Yankee lead, so if Lombard Jr. were able to deliver a hit here and advance a runner, might get a private, unseen smile out of his dad.
Pull in for a strike. 1-2. When we talked to Aaron Boone about Lombard Jr. earlier, and he talked about how different a year has been. He was at Major League Camp last year against the Tigers, and again this year. They don't talk about the change in demeanor, right? He's always seemed to have that maturity, even though it's been a year later now.
Yeah, I think for all the time that he has spent around major league players and major league clubhouse, that's obviously served him well. And we've mentioned it numerous times, including in this game. You see the resume on Lombard Jr. Even just standing at the plate and standing at shortstop, he looks like somebody who fits in. He doesn't look like a 19-year-old kid trying to work his way to the major leagues. He looks like a major leaguer.
2-2 pitch. Fouls that one away again. Getting good contact. Here as he tries to extend this bottom of the fifth. Yanks already with 2 in this inning on a couple sac flies from Grisham and Pereira. Ooh, Pullen thought he had that. That's going to be a catcher's challenge.
The previous pitch was called a ball. The catcher is challenging. The pitch was a strike. Batter's out.
And the catcher's challenge pays off. So Lombard strikes out, but the Yankees score 2 more in the inning, and they lead it 7-2 heading to the 6th.
Popeyes has the best of both wings.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Now and then, you need to stop and smell the roses. Or the leaves, rocks, trees, sticks, and that one tree again. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
Bobby Witt Jr. is an absolute superstar in the making.
I've never seen anything like him.
He's one of the best players in baseball.
Highlight reel play, Bobby Witt Jr.
That's why we call him Bobby Baseball.
He is a generational talent.
I want to win a World Series. I want to do it in Kansas City.
This guy is the cream of the crop right now.
Sensational again!
It is crazy, wiry, athletic pop that's only going to get better.
Spring's in full swing on MLB Network. Turn on the most live spring training games anywhere. Then recap today's news and highlights on MLB Tonight as the best analysts in baseball catch up on the day's news, highlights, and even hear from the players.
For the 6th, one pitch has already been thrown by Yoendris Gomez to Gleyber Torres. 1-0 count to Gleyber here in the top half of the 6th inning. Gleyber's knocked in the only runs for the Tigers so far, an RBI double back in the 3rd. Gomez missing up 2-1.
Kind of interesting how a season unfolds, and then sometimes after a season ends, you get some information. And you were part of an interview with Brian Cashman when he talked about Jazz Chisholm Jr. and where the Yankees saw him fitting in.
Gleyber lifting that one out to center field. Brendan Jones is there, one away.
And when the Yankees added Jazz last year, their intention, or at least Cashman's intention, you see the Yankee alignment defensively, was to play Jazz at second and move Torres to third base. Cashman revealing that Torres was not amenable to that. Jazz did a really nice job handling third base, and now he's back to playing second base this season.
Kerry Carpenter singled in the 1st. 1 for 2. And Gleyber, if I recall, did mention at that time, I'm the second baseman. That's what I am. So
he did, and it attracted some attention. And now Cashman gave a little background to you guys about that.
Carpenter sneaks one through the right side for a 1-out base hit. Well, watch MLB TV and stream 250 and more spring training games and every out-of-market game live or on demand. Plus, stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Put in a pinch runner for Carpenter with one away here in the top of the 6th. And it brings up Riley Green. 0 for 2, ground out, and a strikeout swinging. Green fouling that one away, 1-1.
We've talked about the Tigers players individually, but the Tigers last season, the run that they had to finish the season, when it looked as if at the trade deadline they were waving the white flag, and then A.J. Hinch, their manager, piecing it together for the Tigers to have a dramatic run and make the playoffs.
Last, 45 games, best record in the majors. I think on August 6th, they had a 2.2% chance or a 2% chance of making the playoffs and made an incredible run. And, Jack, that's what made the Central so interesting. Kansas City made it. The Guardians made it. The Twins were actually ended up on the outside looking in when everybody always counts the Twins. In fact, some have said they could win the division this year. So those teams in the Central might not have had the best records, but they were all right in the wild card chase, and 3 of them ended up making it.
And one thing that Hinch repeatedly said, and I agreed with this, was the Tigers were essentially playing playoff games in the regular season because they had to win those games to get there. The run that you referenced, 31-13 to finish the season. Then they end up defeating Houston in the wild card before losing to the Guardians in the ALDS. Skubal obviously had a tremendous season. Now they're hoping to build off that. Green, one of the players they hope can help them make continuous postseason appearances as he goes down on that high fastball. Last year, that 86-76 was their first winning season since 2016.
And when they got to the trade deadline, they weren't even, I think, viewed themselves on the bubble. They traded Jack Flaherty away. And then suddenly the young players just started playing. A.J. Hinch got them believing. He kind of had that pitching philosophy, Jack, of they were just piecing it all together with some minor league pitchers and guys making spot starts. And it worked for them. And then what's amazing is they take down a team in the wild card round in the Astros with almost an attitude of why shouldn't we beat them? Like we don't know what we're doing, right? But they knew what they were doing because they were playing great baseball.
Yeah, on July 30th of last year, they traded, as you mentioned, Flaherty to the Dodgers. They traded Mark Canha to the San Francisco Giants, and they traded Chafin, Mr. Zero, who we saw earlier, to the Texas Rangers. So you're sending a signal that you don't think you can win that season. And then the players in-house, as you mentioned, and that man right there said, well, hold on a second. There's games to be won. There's a potential postseason spot to be grabbed. You need to go 31-13 to make it happen, but they did.
Former Yankee Tommy Kahnle, he signed with the Tigers in the offseason. He's out in the bullpen. This will be his first appearance of the spring, so they're trying to get him in this game. 7-2 Yankees lead it, top of the 6th. That is a fly ball to right field. Spencer Torkelson lines out, and that'll do it. So Gomez, another inning of solid work as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
What do you got there?
presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field with a legendary Ford Bronco, official SUV of the Yankees. Bottom of the sixth at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees have a 7-2 lead. Earlier today, Meredith Marakovits had a chance to catch up with a very familiar face at Yankees camp.
Bernie, back here in Tampa, just how much do you look forward to coming back and working with guys?
Every year. I mean, it's such a great honor to be invited. I mean, Boone calls me like in the middle of the winter, said, "Hey, you guys, you're gonna come down?" And yeah, we'll say, "Yeah, man." It's always a great time, and being that you get an opportunity to talk to these guys and see where they are, mentally getting ready for the season, and it kind of brings me back to the times that I was here, and I enjoyed it so much. It's always a great time.
Was there anyone in particular you were looking forward to talking to or working with when you got down here?
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, all the outfielders, in the big leagues, and the guys that are coming up in the minor leagues, Jason, obviously we got similar games, and I am really excited to see him play this year. He's been working in the outfield. He's been playing center field for most of his career, making the transition to left field. He's got some work to do, and he's very excited about taking that challenge.
What are those conversations like between you and Jason Dominguez as you talk about that transition to left field and being up here as a big leaguer?
Well, I think for the most part he is very confident. He's very athletic, and he's smart. He's a hard worker. And I think he's going to be able to make that adjustment. I think, for the most part, we're talking about the mental game, trying to get ready, make sure that he gets his work done. And he makes, the adjustments that he has to make, playing a different a corner outfield where the ball is going to come at him in a different way. And just kind of making sure that he gets enough reps, during games and batting practice and all that for him to get ready for the season.
Talked about some of that excitement and just being back down here around these guys. Do you ever get out there in the outfield and think, hey, maybe I should, give this a try. I should take some fly balls out here. I should get in the cage.
Every time I'm here, I say, maybe I should take a bat and start swinging the ball. I think I can hit those guys, but that's only a pipe dream. But once to see these guys, play and practice, and the way that the bats are so fast, it's like, at 56, I'm like, yeah, I remember when I was there. It's great memories, and just a great time, and great to be out here.
How long are you hanging around?
For just a couple more days. I think I've been here for like the better part of a week and a half, and it's I mean, I wish I could be here longer, but I put myself at their disposal. They want me to come out here and play, and and talk to people, and having these conversations with this, especially the coaching staff, and the people that are here day to day, working in and out, give them a little perspective, and why are we playing for, the tradition and everything that, had to do with being a Yankee and being part of this great organization. I think it's always great to talk about that as well.
There have been a lot of Yankees around, yourself included, that have achieved great things wearing pinstripes. Just take me inside that clubhouse with some of the guys, former players that are in there, what the conversations are like. I imagine a lot of reminiscing.
Oh yeah, a lot of reminiscing, but I think we touch in different eras. I mean, we have Willow, and they have the Ron Guidry, Gator. They're talking about their times, in the 70s, and then you come back, Tino is here. I think Rocket was here. I think Pettit may show up at some point, and we just talk about our time and how different it was, even that time from the times that we're playing right now. The different challenges, the culture is different, speeding up the game, and all those things that were a little bit of a contrast from the times that we were playing, and just kind of having those conversations, I think it's really healthy, and it's great memories, and it's great. We get a couple of great laughs, and it's always a good time.
Bernie, we always like having a conversation with you. Thanks for joining us on Yes.
Absolutely.
Send it back to you guys.
Meredith, thank you. Always great to see Bernie. We'll take it to the top of the seventh in Tampa. Yanks up 7-2.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs, and ups again. When you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Why are we walking so slowly?
It makes this scene feel more cinematic.
I get that. It's just maybe not the best time to walk in slow motion.
It's the only time to walk in slow motion.
Support America's military and first responder heroes. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at t2t.org. Great to have you back with us as we head to the top half of the seventh inning. It's Tim Hill in for the Yankees. 62 games between the White Sox and Yanks last year. And it took a little bit longer for that to get reunited with the Yankees in the offseason, Jack, but it's good to have Hill back.
Yeah, he gives you that different look coming out of the pen. Throwing from underneath, throwing a lot of sinkers. If you're a lefty like Keith, you're looking for that arm angle, Bob. You're looking for that release point, but pitchers don't release the ball from down there, so it's an advantage for Hill. He's kind of all arms and legs, and then he throws that 88-mile-per-hour sinker, but it definitely plays as if it's more because of where he releases the ball from.
And a little foul ball just down the line, almost hit the chalk.
Yeah, we're going to see one more look at this. This is from the side. You see his extension, and you see when he finally releases the ball, maybe it's about waist high, maybe even a little below that. He's also on that first base side of the rubber, Bob, doing everything you can to try and deceive the hitter. I think this was a great job by the Yankees to make sure they brought Hill back because of what we're just talking about right here. A different look coming out of the pen.
Keith out to left. Kobe Morales has it, one away.
We know Weaver and Wells are going to be the tandem that Boone goes to at the end of games, but Tim Hill showed last year when he came over from the White Sox, not afraid to be in big situations, not afraid to challenge whatever batter Boone brought him in to face. Fearless, Bob, fearless and aggressive, and those are two words. If you can say that about a reliever, you want to give that reliever the baseball.
Gets a sinker over the outside part of the plate against Trey Sweeney. Strike one. Sweeney's 0 for 2 today. You mentioned the arm angle helps that fastball or the pitches play up. What about that quick slide step? Does that matter too?
Talked to Andy Pettit once about his career, and he said he wishes that he had incorporated a slide step earlier because started to use it in the last half of his career, and he said he could tell how much it disrupted the timing. And we're going to see an infield single there for Sweeney as that ball squeezes between second and short. Would have been a tough play either way, but you're right, Bob. Anything you can do, and here it is, get that foot down, throw it from down low. And that's the other thing about Hill. You're going to see a lot of ground balls. Now that one goes down as a base hit, but you're going to see a lot of guys hitting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, that was tough for Vargas in short, taking over for Lombard Jr. to get his glove and throw to first. So 1 on, 1 away. Dylan Dingler is the hitter. He's walked and flown out to center field.
Yeah, Hill was released by the White Sox last year. You see those ground ball percentage numbers that we talk about. How about that? Here's your double play to end the inning.
1-4-3, and that'll do it. So good job by Tim Hill to get out of the inning, get the double play. 7-2 Yankees on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard, and as we hit the 7th inning stretch, we stay at George M. Steinbrenner Field for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention today to the New York Yankees first base line. The Yankees are recognizing Colonel Rodney Mincer of the United States Army, who served our nation for 26 years as a field artillery and acquisition officer, as well as a Russian linguist, being deployed numerous times in support of Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Enduring Freedom, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. The New York Yankees welcome Colonel Rodney Mincer as our military honoree of the game. And also say thank you to all of our brave men and women for their service and sacrifices for our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to remain standing and remove your caps for the playing of God Bless America.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettitte.
Time for the great mascot race. Here's the pitch. And they're off. They're neck and neck. Look at them go. Listen to the cheers. They're heading for home. It's too close to call. Here's the play of the plate. It's Bernie Brewer. Congratulations on winning the great mascot race.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
A real meal deserves a real dessert, like the DQ $7 meal deal. With a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and a sundae. You get an honest-to-goodness full meal all for just $7 at DQ.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again.
Yankee Spring Training on Yes is presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field or any terrain with a legendary Ford Bronco, official SUV of the Yankees. Great to have you with us all afternoon. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, Meredith Marakovitz with you. Jason Foley, the new pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th for the Tigers, as the Yanks have a 7-2 lead. 3 in the first, 2 more in the third, 2 more in the 5th. Just a short time ago, Meredith Marakovitz had a chance to talk to Bernie Williams. As we mentioned, always great to see him. So great for young players to absorb his knowledge in winning 4 championships with the Yanks. And the one key guy absorbing that this year, Jack, as we saw and heard from Bernie, is Jason Dominguez.
Right, and I loved what Bernie said about the mental side of the game and keeping yourself prepared. And for someone like Bernie Williams and the accomplished career that he had, 4 Gold Gloves, 4 World Series titles, a batting title, almost 300 home runs, 2,300 plus hits. When that comes from him, that should resonate as a younger player. And I can speak from experience of covering Bernie. Bernie handled New York as well as anyone because he did it in his own way. And I know after his career, it's going to be a strikeout of Jones.
He was not making eye contact or the direct contact with the pitcher that he should have, so that is a strikeout on an umpire-issued strike for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Tough way to lose an at-bat, even if it is in spring training. But Bernie, Bob said he navigated New York by staying under the radar. He's a guy who was a switch hitter, hitting in the middle of the order for the mighty Yankees as they were winning 4 World Series in 5 seasons. But Bernie didn't want the attention. Bernie didn't want to be the guy giving interview after interview in the clubhouse, and that worked for him. So when you talk about the mental side of the game, yes, it's about your preparation. It's about knowing what you need to do physically. It's also about knowing what you need to do mentally to make yourself most comfortable to succeed.
Cole Gabrielson hits that one up the middle. Tough little hop there. May have hit the edge of the turf and the dirt, and he'll be aboard here with 1 away in the 7th.
Yeah, it's funky hop there. Tough hop. It's going to end up going down as an infield single.
And Navigado had a hard time navigating that one off the lip of the infield.
Had a hard time Navigatoing it, that's what you're trying to tell me? Bob, one quick story on Bernie. The Yankees were in the postseason so often that I forget what year or what game, but in old Yankee Stadium, Bernie had played a pivotal role in a game, and you used to have to wait probably about 50 feet back from the clubhouse door before you were allowed into the clubhouse to interview players. And as we were waiting to go and interview the Yankees, here comes Bernie dressed out of the clubhouse and making a right, and everybody's screaming, Bernie, Bernie, where are you going? But in that moment, Bernie was done. He had accomplished what he needed to accomplish on the field. He did not stick around to do any interviews. The reporter in me wished that he had, but all of these years later, and having spoken to him about what worked for him, in that moment, what worked for him was he contributed to a win, and he was heading home.
I'm glad you mentioned that story as Kobe Morales gets his at bat here, Jack, because we always talk about players with their routines, and even Jason Dominguez at this point probably has something of a routine for him. But it's learning all that other stuff that you're talking about that's new to him. As Morales lifts one out to center, that ball keeps flying, and Kobe Morales with a 2-run home run for the Yankees as they extend their lead to 9-2.
So somewhat fitting that we're talking about a former great Yankee center fielder in Bernie Williams, and Morales sends an absolute moonshot in that exact direction. One more look at this, and this ball is just crushed.
Ball just keeps flying. You see the center fielder giving it a look, but nothing he could do way up on the hitter's eye back there. So a 9-2 Yankees lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Josh Moylan chops one off the front of the plate for out number 2.
Yeah, you were saying about preparation and being prepared. I've heard Derek Jeter say this many times. Preparation brings comfort, and not being tense on the field, maybe when you haven't prepared or haven't put yourself in a position to succeed, where you're a little anxious. There's nothing wrong with being anxious. You're always going to be a little nervous, but I know Jeter talked a lot about if you're prepared, you'll be comfortable.
Everson Pereira is up. He had a sac fly back in the 5th as the Yankees scored 2 in that inning. But all the players, let's take Dominguez, for example. He's always had a lot of attention. He would do more interviews probably at the minor league level than a lot of guys. But at the major league level, it's a whole nother animal, right? With the media beat that covers how many people cover the team. And, you know, again, learning, do I have to talk to these guys all the time? Or how can I get comfortable knowing I still need to do interviews? I still have my job that way, but I need to be as comfortable as I can.
Yeah, I talked about Bernie wanting to be under the radar. Jason Dominguez signed for $5 million as a 16-year-old, and some of the comps that were thrown out there: Mickey Mantle, Mike Trout, Bo Jackson. hard to stay under the radar when you're being linked to those players. But I think, again, it's about finding your own comfort level. Pereira, another young player that we're watching right here. I think with Dominguez, it's a couple things. It's reps. It's getting as many at-bats and as many outfield reps as possible so you are comfortable at the next level.
Swing and a miss there by Pereira to end things here in the 7th, but Kobe Morales with a 2-run shot to extend the lead. Top of the 8th at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Fernando Cruz, the new pitcher for the Yankees, as the Bombers hit 9-2. Short time ago, Meredith had the chance to catch up with today's starting pitcher, Will Warren.
Will, you were just asked about your outing, and you said it was gritty. How much of a challenge did it feel like out there for you today?
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy getting behind. You know, you try to go out there and fill it up and let your defense play. Today it was a little different. But, yeah, still, you know, competing, see if they can hit it and let the defense work behind me.
Aaron Boone was asked about you during the broadcast, and he said he likes the fact that he feels like your arsenal is continually evolving. How would you describe your arsenal right now and where you're at?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good with it. Everything's kind of working how, you know, we planned it in the bullpen and stuff. Changeup's really working, throwing it to both sides of the plate. Just overall, I think everything's good.
Faced your former teammate in Gleyber Torres. He was leading off for the Tigers today. Do you enjoy facing former teammates?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely fun. I roomed with Trey Sweeney, so I gave him a little hat nod when he walked up, so it was fun to face those two.
And you look at the situation with the rotation right now. Obviously, Luis Gil is going to be out for a little while. Garrett Cole, the news not out on him officially yet, but looks like he could miss a substantial amount of time. Does that at all change your approach, knowing there's a real spot up for grabs now?
No, I think I came into camp knowing that I was, you know, lower on the totem pole. But I had a little chip on my shoulder to let's go take a spot and earn a spot. But nothing's changed. Obviously, things have, like, injuries have occurred, but yeah, obviously my mentality is still to go out there and stay present.
Do you feel like you've shown them enough so far to earn a spot?
I hope so. I want to keep showing, keep going along, and giving myself a chance to, you know, start on the open day roster.
You stay present, but is that difficult, knowing what's at stake, to not let your mind wander a little bit and focus on the task at hand?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, stuff changes every day, so it's really hard, but I've been working on it since last year, and I think that's, you know, the difference in this spring training and last year.
Well, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
send it back to you guys.
Meredith, thank you for that. And Will Warren is interesting as Fernando Cruz faces Ryan Kreidler. Fastball up and misses. 2-2. They're going to check to see if he did not check his swing. He did. To hear him say he's pitching with a chip on his shoulder, and Jack, as things happen where pitchers get injured and people say, wow, there's a real opening here for Will Warren, and I'm sure friends and family members are whispering that to him as well. You got to keep pitching with that chip on your shoulder. You can't take anything for granted.
I love that line from Will Warren, because you're right. He made his debut last year. We mentioned earlier, didn't have the results he wanted. The ERA was over 10. He knew coming into this spring training that he had to show the Yankees, hey, listen, I'm better than what I showed at the Major League level. Even better than what he showed at AAA, as we see a base hit there to left field. Bobby had an ERA of almost 6 at AAA, although the strikeout to walk ratio is very good. Ball gets loose, no harm, no foul. So I think the chip on his shoulder comment is applicable. Meredith asked a great question at the end. Warren, of course, says, I hope I've shown enough. I think he has shown enough, Bob. I think he's a major league rotation piece. It's a matter of whether the Yankees decide to take him. He does have an option left, so that always factors into the roster construction.
Does that make it easier then for, let's say, if he's neck and neck with a Carlos Carrasco, for them to take the veteran who's been proven at the majors, or do you, like the Yankees have done in recent years, roll the dice on a younger player and say it's his time?
It's a great question.
Fly ball center field, Andrew Navigado. And a good read there by Brendan Jones to haul that one in. 2 away.
Not to sound like a GM or a manager, but that question will be answered across the last 7 days. I think you always like to. You see Jones with a nice running catch here. You always want to be able to reward a young player, a 25-year-old who has come in and pitched the way that Warren has. But you also want to have your depth, and if you were at the risk of losing a player, for instance, Carrasco has an opt-out in his contract, so how does that factor into what you do with your roster? Those are questions that will be answered across the next 2.5 weeks, but Warren has definitely shown this spring with the numbers that he has put up. 11 2/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, that he belongs.
2 away here in the top of the 8th. Cruz facing Bly Madris.
And going back to what Boone told us earlier, Bob, about Cole. Cole went down last year. I was in spring training when the word first came out that he had elbow issue last year, and it was an ominous day for the Yankees. You're wondering, how are you going to move forward without your ace? And Luis Gil came forward and was terrific, and basically was a carbon copy of who Cole had been for the Yankees. The future is uncertain. The future is unwritten, as the great Joe Strummer once said. So you have to let the season play itself out. You see a stolen base there. We're not predicting that there will be someone who becomes Luis Gil, but the season doesn't end. And you have to play the schedule that's in front of you, and whatever happens with Cole going forward and whenever he does return, Yankees still have a lot of games ahead of them.
Swing and a miss there by Cruz, and that will do it as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Yanks on top big time, 9-2.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And over the years, life happens. And through life's ups and downs and ups again, when you need money for some of life's necessities, now your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you can access $45,000 or more. Give us a call or visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Even a game as timeless as baseball must evolve. Only you can control your journey's evolution.
That's a base hit.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
To a perfect family vacation, separate rooms. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Rafael Devers stands in the batter's box and he's a ribbing machine. This guy drives in 100 runs a year. In his sleep, his bat plays.
He has earned his place among the elite hitters in the game.
Rafi Devers strikes again.
He is spectacular.
Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training, presented by your local Ford stores. Dominate the field with a legendary Ford Bronco, official SUV of the Yankees. Good to have you back. Bottom of the 8th. The Yankees lead at 9-2. 9 runs on 9 hits and an error for the Yankees. Balazovic, the new pitcher for the Tigers. Jordan Balazovic spent time at AAA last year. As a reliever, 35 1/3 innings.
So, Bob, we always hear about how players are in spring training form and they're in best health they're in the best shape of their lives. You nailing the pronunciation of that name from an announcer's perspective. You're in the best shape of your announcing career right there. We're terrific.
17 days away, Jack, from opening day. Got to be ready to go. Alexander Vargas. Oh, he's feeling good and ready to go. Easy to pronounce that one. Home run Vargas at a 10-2 Yankees lead.
Vargas sending a reminder, mostly to me, get back to the game, get back to the action. I got a big swing looming right here. And we'll take one more look at it. Balazovic is a big dude. He comes inside with that pitch. And Vargas goes right down the line. And the Yankees, who clubbed 3 home runs in the first inning, add another in the 8th.
Tyler Hardman on to short, 1 away. We want to remind you tonight on Yes that Nets are home in Brooklyn for a matchup with the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage beginning at 7 o'clock with tip-off shortly after 7:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. 1 away, bottom of the 8th. That was an impressive home run from Vargas out to right. And then earlier when Kobe Morales hit that 2-run shot last inning, Jack, what was the tape measure on that one?
James Smythe, our researcher guru, 437 feet. As he said, that was a man shot. That was a big boy shot. Morales deep to center field. By the way, Bob, speaking of center field, I always like to tidy things up if I err in a way.
Juan Matheus, liner to right, 2 away.
We were talking about that 3-team trade earlier in the broadcast that brought Granderson to the Yankees. I mentioned that Granderson coming over and taking over center field kept them away from bringing back Johnny Damon. It was really an outfield squeeze. Damon didn't play center field for that 2009 team. He was a left fielder. Brett Gardner and Melky Cabrera got most of the reps in center field. So Mike Medvin challenging my memory to go back 15 or 16 years. I wanted to tighten that up.
T's crossed, I's dotted, and we move forward. 2 away, Alex Jackson took over for Austin Wells behind the plate. And a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Jackson part of that backup catcher competition. I think J.C. Escara is the leader in the clubhouse. I think the Yankees see Ben Rice as a absolute potential on this roster as well. From a DH perspective, probably see him against righties.
Austin Wells led off with a home run. Jack, Aaron Boone's talked about using him in the leadoff spot in the regular season. That feels like that leadoff spot is going to be pieced together a little bit. Maybe with Wells on a certain day, Jazz Chisholm Jr., that sort of thing. Is that fair to say?
I agree with you. I think it also depends if is it a lefty, is it a righty. But the fact that Wells is in the mix, I think it's a good thing for the Yankees. He does see a lot of pitches. Last year, though he ended up hitting on the season 229, he had a 322 on base percentage, so he had 47 walks. He gets that average up to 260. That on base percentage could be 350, and that's what the Yankees are looking for. So I love the fact that they went into spring training experimenting at that position, and I think we are going to see Wells there a lot, but you're right, I think we're going to see other players as well.
1-2 pitch coming up to Alex Jackson. And a breaking ball just misses away. 1-2. 2-2 rather. Jackson fouling that one away to stay alive.
Jackson has had major league time with the Braves, the Marlins, the Brewers, and the Rays. He's been traded 5 times in his career.
2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that'll do it here in the 8th. But the Yanks get one more on the home run by Alexander Vargas. They're up 10-2.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Let us show you how you could access $45,000 or more. Visit us online at loandepot.com today.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game, knock it out the park, knock it out. You know I got the spirit, knock it out the park, knock it out the spirit of the game. The catch was thrown, not in time.
Best on best prospect battles are coming back. The Spring Breakout Series returns with 16 games featuring the game's top prospects going head to head. The Spring Breakout Series continues right here on MLB Network.
Tovar, he has been impressive. He looks like he's locked in at that shortstop position.
The telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. It's been a good day for the Yanks so far as they lead at 10-2. Eric Raiselman is in for the Yankees to try and close things out here in the 9th. Last season split time between rookie, high A, and double A. 38 2/3 innings, 63 strikeouts in those 38 2/3.
Someone to keep an eye on in the Yankee system for this season because of those numbers that you just mentioned, Bob. Pretty safe to say he had the best season of any Yankee minor league pitcher.
Jahmai Jones getting a pinch hit appearance here for the Tigers. They're down 10-2 here in the top of the 9th. Good opening pitch from Raiselman in for a curveball and a strike one. Jones last year limited to just 33 games for the Tigers. Another breaking ball in, top of the zone, 0-2.
Raiselman, a 5th-round pick out of LSU in 3 minor league seasons. How about these numbers, Bob? Averages 14.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's going to get you noticed. It's fastball plus slider plus a very intense competitor.
Fastball there, and Jones fouls it off. 98. '29th ranked prospect according to Baseball America. 1-2 pitch. Fastball up 2-2.
He's had to deal with some injuries in his career, but you see the numbers that he was able to put up last year, and you can see someone whose stock has risen and will continue to rise in the organization.
That is a fastball. That is a strikeout. Jones goes down looking, 1 away. Well, tomorrow on Yes, the march to opening day continues as the Yankees take on the Baltimore Orioles here at Steinbrenner Field. Our coverage starts at 1 o'clock on Yes and streaming on the Gotham Sports app. And then remember, opening day, Thursday, March 27th. Yes, we'll have extended pregame coverage of everything happening at Yankee Stadium beginning at 1:30. And if for no other reason, tune in to see if Jack Curry is wearing a new suit. That's what we all tune in for, Jack. You know that, right?
That's a TBD moment. TBD. I mean, that's a TBD. We're going to have to see. I'm not giving away my wardrobe choices as yet.
Got to see if there's any new uniform decisions for the 2025 season.
Is a new tie good enough?
A new tie would count as something I think we could go with.
All right.
2-0 to Theron Lorenzo.
By the way, Bob, that strikeout of Jahmai Jones, 96-mile-an-hour fastball with inside run, arm side run from Raiselman. This is a guy you're excited to see from a Yankee perspective. Get him to AAA, get some more innings under his belt, and see if he can be a factor this season. He's only 23 years old. Most of what he did last year was at AA. Again, stay healthy. With this arsenal, another potential option out of the bullpen.
Tomas Nido took over behind the plate. First pitch swinging and out to right field, and flaring foul. And here's one of those good moments for him, right? Good stuff, but you've walked the batter. Can you get a double play ground ball or a strikeout, but a double play ground ball to end the inning and end the game?
Yeah, and a lot of times you get to the 9th inning, you're facing players who have been at the AA level or single A level. He's facing a major league hitter. He's facing Tomas Nido now. In his career, Nido's a .210 hitter, but he's a guy who's also played in over 300 major league games.
Fastball right back to him. He'll take the out. Little double clutch in the glove, so he'll take the out at first as the runner advances 2 away.
You almost had it, Bob. You almost had that double play grounder that you prophesied. But instead, because he did have trouble getting it out of his glove, take the sure out. You're up by 8 runs. Don't allow a potentially bigger inning to explode because you rush a throw to second.
Two away, man on second here as the Yankees lead at 10-2. Jim Jarvis, the hitter, spent time between single and high A last year. Been a good afternoon for the Yankees offensively. 10 runs on 10 hits, 5 home runs, 3 in that first inning alone from Wells, Goldschmidt, and Grisham. 1-1 to Jarvis. Misses away, 2-1.
We're watching a future major league pitcher here in Raiselman, Bob. I know there's some hurdles. I'm sure the Yankees still want him to leap over on this journey, and of course that's about getting reps at the AAA level. But you watch the ball coming out of his hand and the movement of his fastball and the slider. This looks like someone who is ready to eventually wear those pinstripes in the Bronx.
Tigers down to their last strike. 2-2 pitch coming up to Jarvis. Goes off speed and just misses, 3-2.
We're going to see a fastball here. That's my prediction for you, Bob Lorenz.
Pretty good call. And he gets one up in the zone, and Jarvis fouls it to stay alive. What do you think? Back to it?
Yes.
Got to finish big, finish strong.
Throw the pitch you're most convicted in, David Cohn would say. And I know he loves his slider, but I think we're seeing the fastball again.
Jarvis staying alive, swung at ball 4 there. So Raiselman a chance to close this out on what's been a very good afternoon for the Yankees against the Tigers. Three-two pitch. And Jarvis to second. On to first, and that will do it as the Yankees win today's ball game against the Tigers. Raiselman closing it out. 10-2 is the final. Back on the 23rd, Tigers came to George M. Steinbrenner Field and won that game 4-0, but this was Yankees domination all the way. It began with Will Warren pitching very well and then getting a lot of offensive support behind him as they win it 10-2. Let's get to our Audi electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local tri-state Audi dealer today.
And we are going to start with defense. How about Trent Grisham covering a lot of ground to make that first play? And then when that baseball knuckles on him a little bit, Bob, he is able to recover and go to his left to make another play.
And then, Jack, a lot of options for our Cadillac drives of the game.
Yeah, I hope he didn't show up to this game late because the Yankees were mashing early. There's Austin Wells with another first-inning home run. Paul Goldschmidt, a few batters later, follows him up by going opposite field. And then Grisham also hunts out a first-pitch fastball, as Wells did, and goes deep. 3 home runs in the first inning for the Yanks.
And then 5 home runs total in this one as the Yankees win it. 10 runs on 10 hits and an error. Tigers 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Yankees home runs coming from Wells, Goldschmidt, Grisham, Morales, and Vargas in front of a crowd at George M. Steinbrenner Field of 9,046 fans. Well, that will do it from George M. Steinbrenner Field. Special thanks to producer Mike Bedford, director Michael Cooney, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Jared Ames Bochnek. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees host the Orioles at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock right here on Yes. Once again, the final score, the Yankees 10 and the Tigers 2. Now, for Jack Curry and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Bob Lorenz. Thanks for joining us all afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the ball game. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.